Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome. Hey, Sean. Hey, Little Brat. Hey, Prince Frank V and Rod and Brian and Tuxedo and Kittrell. Hey, GJ. Hey, SysEng and Jose and Derek. Thanks for the gifted memberships, Derek. Who else do we have here? Joseph and Deanna and Ken and Corey. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Mad Cat. Hey, Mike. How are folks? Let's see. Fixter Jake and Dead Aim. Hey, Orion. How are folks? Mr. Tiberian. We are going to continue wiring on the Trident here. Did a little bit of work in between streams. Not quite as much as I had hoped to, but we're in a good spot. We'll make progress today. Hey, Adam. Hey, Steve. Hey, Mitchells. Hey, BBs. Dr. Dave. I had to print something to fix. I don't know if it's your fault or somebody's fault, but I had to print something to fix it. I'll tell you about that later. I think we talked about it earlier. It's with the fan mounts for the sides. But and Micah and PF Dennis. And Shannon and Pathetic Puma. Yeah, Star Trek action here. I go both. Sure, that's my fault. If you're in my Discord, I posted a picture of where we began with this, and I guess I'll bring that up. I'll bring that up here because not everybody's in the Discord, but there is a link in the description for an invite. But this is where we began with this. This is when we took the thing apart on stream number 1 of this series, which seems like a very long time ago because it kind of was. Hey, Smoles. Sorry for caps, I was excited. Hey, Just Push Prints, no problem. Barry and Sergei. Hey, Bill. So sad laying on its side. A mid-zero Mercury build, nice. See, you went with the other franchise today. I gotta mix it up a bit. Hey, Rick. So this is where we started. This is basically LDO kit spec. At the time, the Leviathan was not spec, so there was an octopus here when I first built it, and I didn't have the little breakout board. So just kind of showing where we started, and we're going to get into working on this. So this is working out pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with the layout here. I think it makes sense. I think it's we got a winner on the layouts. What else do we have? Yard Mullet? Yard Mullet, welcome. Hey, Andrew. And got Nighthawk Stealth Burner installed on my 2.4 and it's working great. Just in time to start printing parts for my friend's first Voron. Awesome. Way to pay it forward too. So, big change as we went to a smaller power supply. Good night, Vinicius. We went from the 200 watt LRS power supply to 150 watt. And I think I can get away with that because I use a dedicated 48 volt power supply for the A and B steppers, which is this IRM series power supply. Hey, Vinny. In addition to that, we have a 5 volt power supply here that's going to basically be dedicated power for the WLED board. How much Flight of Canada and redo my wiring to be so clean? A lot. Hey, Low Sync and the Reverend. This is the SSR, and this little board is the, I forget what they call it. I probably can't read it. Oh yeah, the SKSM module from Big Tree Tech. Now, I was thinking about this, and I don't know if we've brought this up before, but I think this is supposed to connect into some of these pins here. So we might have to change things around and figure out how we're gonna actually hook this up. But has it become heavier with all that? I haven't really noticed a big difference. It's not really a big difference. Prince Frank V, thank you for becoming a member. Hey, Peter. Hey, Mike. How the WLED config goes. Yeah, that'll be, I mean, I think that we're going to have a couple of streams of just kind of configuring all these things. So in between streams, I cleaned up the residue from the VHB that was holding this center wire channel, and then one that was down here. I cleaned that all off, and I reinstalled this one, and I kind of played around with how I want stepper wires to route. So we're gonna need to crimp some. I'm gonna cut and crimp because these, and I was planning on doing some of this off stream, but I did not. So we'll have to figure out where all of these go, because this one actually goes all the way up into here, and we're gonna need to pull this off anyway. So let's pull these. So pull that off, and this guy comes there. These are all over the place. This one is actually for, oh, that's in a zip tie there. It's going down to this stepper. So I think I was going to run this one around. I want to keep as much length on these wires as possible just for future use. So I figured there's no reason not to send them around the horn on this. But I don't want to go back and forth within a wire channel to clean it up. So here are Chapman. So just some quick kind of figuring out where it makes sense to run these, and then cutting them short and re-crimping the ends onto them. Won't take very long. So that was kind of the between stream, some of the between stream stuff. My print quality on these mounts, like this mount, was terrible, so I reprinted it, put it all back together. I had some first layer adhesion issues on that, so I reprinted that. I also fixed, if you remember from last stream, the little skirt button setup, the AI experts. Little, what do we got? 3D, come on, there we go. 3D AI experts board. It did not, this printed part did not fit. The mounting screw for the board ran into the stepper here and caused this to be shifted up. And so I took 0.6 millimeters off of the skirt back here to create the clearance I needed. And then was putting it all back together, and actually glued the diffusers into the buttons, and then realized when I was putting it together that it would not press the button. I think I was getting it to press the button before by flexing the whole thing. And since I glued those diffusers in, it turned out that the little purple housing part of this is bottoming out on the PCB before the button could be pushed. I don't have a good way to show it, but I fixed that by gluing little 4 millimeter by 0.6 millimeter clear PET G discs into the back of these diffusers. They actually have a 0.6 millimeter deep hole there that I'm basically filling. And now they've got a really good button fill. Every one of them has a nice satisfying action. You can tell when it's pressed, you can hear it. It's way better now. Hey, Redacted. We've been building Reolink PoE doorbell extension mounts. So reprinted the extensions. OCD kicked in, yep. Did you see the clip Timot missed? Yes, I did. Oh yeah, we all got a good laugh at Timot's expense on that. So that keypad looks fantastic. Yeah, it ought to be fun. It ought to be fun to configure. It is for someone who was asking, it is AI Experts. So 3D AI Experts. And maybe, there you go. You can probably pause and get that QR code to work. This is gonna bolt in here. So the other thing I was looking at, hey Sly Dog, hey Jason, hey Just Push Print, those like buttons for macros. Yes, it's a little, I think it's STM. I think it's an STM32 based board. Yeah, it's an STM32. 072, I think, 073. Anyway, it has enough IO on here for basically, it will load Clipper to it and be able to access it in our config and assign functions, macros to these button presses. We will be relying on the documentation for that, and I will be reviewing that before we get going. But we're not ready for that. We won't be ready for that this stream, so I'm not ready. Hey, John. Does it have a D-pad? No. The other thing I did kind of remember and notice is I took 0.6 millimeters off the thickness of this, which means I made a new insert thing that was 0.6 millimeters shorter. The physetic buttons are separable and run from an SV2040. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the physetic stuff, so. Anyway, I took that into account in the logo piece here. However, we're gonna have to trim it so that it sits inside that, inside the PCB. And we'll do that later. I did find on Amazon the exact same terminal block stuff that the LDO kit comes with. So I bought a kit of those and added an extra space so we can power the, we needed 2 extra spaces, I thought. Maybe I just needed 1 extra space to power the 5-volt here. And then we'll have some extra if we ever need to do anything. I don't think so. So now the question comes down to getting all this kind of wired up, power going to everything. And I think that's where I want to start, is with power, because we can just be working on that, work through all of that right now. And I had some thoughts on that. So the power supply here has 2 outputs, basically, if you're not going to share them. And I think I can do this without sharing them and without using any Wagos. So I'm not going to use any Wago distribution blocks, and I'm going to just use each output on the various power supplies singular, right? Hey, don't knock it. So we need 24 volts. So for 24 volts, we need a controller, we need breakout board, and we need the Pi power, the BTT SKSM board, right? So we need 3 of those. We only have 2 24s. For 48 volts is easy. We just need 1 for the 48 volt side of the controller, and it's already wired in. That wire I just reused. Thanks, Slidehog. Wire nuts. Can't stay for the whole stream, studying for tomorrow's test. Good luck, Robodero. What time is the giveaway? In 1 hour and 45 minutes, plus 3 seconds. Pi currently is getting power from the Leviathan. So I'm not factoring that in yet, because we still have to kind of figure this out. It'll end up getting power from this, I think. I'll have to look at the documentation again. So that is, we need 3 24 volt outputs, but we only have 2 on the power supply. And we need 2 5 volt outputs. We need the WLED board, and this takes 5 volts. Now it'll take USB in or a 5 volt, and you have a jumper to choose on this little board. So I came up with, I think, a pretty good idea to maximize the cleanliness or minimize the clutter of wires. And that is, for 24 volt, I'm gonna run the SKSM to the power supply and the Leviathan to the power supply, but the breakout board, I'm gonna run to the CAN out. So 24 volts is on the CAN out on the Leviathan. So I'm basically gonna jump her over to 24 volts here, and I'm just not gonna hook up the CAN high and low wires. So there's 24 volts taken care of. For the 5 volts is the other one that we're short 1 on. We're going to run this only to the WLED board, and this will be a 3 amp power supply dedicated for the WLED. And for this board, since I'm not going to be running off the NeoPixel port on the Leviathan, I'm going to run off the NeoPixel port to here, because that's intended to drive several NeoPixels. So it's got the current capacity that I can run this off of it. So what do you guys think about that? Does that seem pretty reasonable? What do we got? Hey, Steve. I've got it all in my head. I know what I'm doing, but I wanted to explain it before we went on, because I had printed up Wago mounts and I was thinking about all this, and then I realized, I can do this and have a teeny tiny jumper wire over here. And then I realized that I could run this off the NeoPixel port here, and because this only has one output on the 5-volt thing, so I would have had to figure out some the other thing I could have done, if I don't like using, or I need to use the NeoPixel port on the Leviathan for something, I could just run it off of one of these, and then it would effectively be running off of this power supply. So, do you ever get those RGBW sequins? No, they're just don't appear to be available in the US. So I'm not going to be putting sequins in this tool head, at least not now, not for now. Okay, then let's get into, since Dr. Dave is probably still around, I have the side fan, the cool RGB thing here. Are we going to give away plates today? Oh, shoot. We are, Pathetic Puma. I'm going to make time for that, because that's not your fault that I forgot. I'll get that done. Give me a moment. I'll get that done. Place your bets, place your bets. What's the chance that we see magic smoke released? 0. We can delay. Okay, let's delay. Don't let me forget. Don't let me forget next week. Let's delay. I apologize for that. Cool. You've been buried too, so yeah. Thank you. Well, we'll delay to next week. What I think we identified on these that I forgot about is that the mounting tab are twice as thick as the spec parts. Therefore, all these grills don't fit right. So, Mr. Dr. Dave's fault that I had to reprint those. So let's get these swapped out real quick. Then I can not worry about it. So I basically just went into CAD and thickened up the grills by 1 millimeter, and that should just take care of it. Yep, that's one. Are you here, Dr. Dave? Did you catch any of that? Anybody following the black box build, I went through about another 3 revisions on that wire cover before I was happy with it, but it's done now. Wire cover for the tool head. You say there was going to be a second giveaway today, or was that next Sunday? We are going to do a second giveaway on Sunday, and that's going to be Pex Peppers limited edition hot sauce this Sunday. And next Tuesday, we are going to, Pathetic Puma here is making cool laser engraved plaques, and he made a very special commemorative Charlie wire one that I know where I'm putting it on my Charlie wire build, but I need to permanently affix it. I think I'm gonna actually print a new skirt piece with a spot special for it because it fits there real well. I'll show you a picture here in a second. You caught all of it? Okay. Yes, the apricot hot sauce, exactly. So we're giving away a bottle of that on Sunday. And then, let me see if I have a quick picture of the little plaque that Pathetic Puma is making. I know I've shown this before. Here we go. This. Weren't we supposed to receive an email from PEX? If you've won one of the giveaways from PEX Peppers before and you haven't received an email, there's a good chance it's my fault. Let me know. Send me a DM. Was there a new thing? Did I miss something from last stream for an email or what? Or was it or are you thinking like a advertising email type thing? Email introducing. Okay, so that's probably different than Tuxedo. I'm not. Hey, Rudy. Went to CAD and realized I did the thicker tabs intentionally and changed them in all my builds because the stock tabs are so thin. But they don't, they work. But they work. Have you run into anybody who complained, oh, I broke the tabs on my fans? Bit lost on what are all those boards other than the Pi and MCU. Could you go through them quickly? I did, but I can do it again. Oh, send an email, I see. You know, I'm sure more than one person could use a refresher on what boards we're using. Okay. Just wanted to throw these on here so they're completed assemblies sitting on my desk. Absolutely fixed something that was working fine before. There you go. It's a full millimeter. That's thick. Hey, Bob. Welcome. Exactly, it's 5 layers. It's a full bottom layer set. Here, 3D Remy. Okay, quick rundown of the boards. This is a ESP32 WLED board. It's going to be used to power the chamber LEDs and these side skirt LED setups. And anything else someone might suggest I add to this as far as LED control, but those are the main ones it'll control. This is a SKSM from Big Tree Tech, and what this does is provide the Pi enough power, hopefully, to do a graceful shutdown if you just hit the power switch on the printer and don't shut down before. This is the Pi and Leviathan controller. And this is a little breakout board that provides USB and power connection for the Orbital Toolhead board. Does that cover it? And then 5-volt power supply, 48-volt power supply, solid state relay, and 150 watt 24-volt power supply. Can't you fit some more boards down there? I don't think you have enough. Okay, power. We are going to run Z power. So I need to figure out where I put my my wiring. So I'm going to switch to, sure, whatever, that view, because I can't get over to this cabinet without moving that camera. So let's grab that. Let's just grab all the various wiring. Just gonna grab the whole wire row so I don't have to do it again. Must be doing everything wireless. Impressive that everything will all fit. Yeah, and I think it's going to be pretty clean. Someone made the suggestion, I don't remember who, but someone made the suggestion to rotate that 150 watt power supply 90 degrees, and that is what opened all of this up. Hey, Nuggerut. Do I want this, or do I want... Dinner may be interesting tonight. Amazon truck just delivered a Belgian waffle machine. Nice. Silicone wire. So I think I'm going to start with making this little jumper. This is a jumper from the CAN output on the Leviathan to this little breakout board. I'm going to run, and that's just going to be straight there. It's just going to be a little loop right in. Not a lot of wire there. Just got to figure out what size wire I want to run. Yep, that'll work. I think this is 18 gauge. Yep, 18 gauge will work. So basically, really, I'm just gonna run that long of a wire. It's just gonna jump right in. Is a 90-degree power supply mount your design, or is it public? That's a good question. I modeled it. I'm gonna go, I think, underneath that. I'm gonna give this a little more just so I have some flexibility on later further layouts. So instead of a 2-inch wire, it's going to be about 4 inches. So that, and then we are going to, hey Poity. I'm going to take a squirrel moment and figure out if this is the power supply mount I have out on, let's go, Voron, printer parts, GitHub. So, actually it's not printer parts, it's Voron parts. So Voron parts. Just finished doing 5 toolboards with the tiny GST, such a pain, but it's now done. Awesome. Just software now for your tool changer? Nice. It's 120 millimeters, almost on the dot. John. 120 millimeters is what I cut that to. Okay, if we go here to DIN mounts and we go to power supplies, this is, yeah, this is the one that's out there. I had to remodel this. This is the one that's out there. So if anybody wants that and you can use this link to get to that whole site. I need to put out the inline one. So I made an inline one and then switched to the rotated one. The inline one is not out there because I just modeled it for this build. And then the other thing we need to find, close some of these windows because this is from the black box stream. Let's go to, is it LDO Motors, GitHub? Yeah, let's go here and let's go to the Leviathan. Is this is not their main. Where is their other? Let's go docs, LDO motion. LDO motion. Just posted a pic in stream chat of my big boy build. It's almost done. It's just about as cluttered as this build. Nice. Cluttered? Should bring up, oh boy. Big power supplies and 2 controllers. Nice. Okay, so if we go to guides, I think. So this is LDOmotion.com and is this products, heatset, Leviathan. And this is one where they do have their GitHub. So it's Motor Dynamic Slab, not LDO Motors. And I think if I go to, I was looking at this before, I think it was media and there was a pins. The pin assignment. There we are. This is what I'm looking for. And it's hidden by me, but it's the CAN pin out. So it's 24 volts here on the right and ground on the left. And that's really the reference I'm looking for. From here, we will also need the pin out on the little breakout board. And it's labeled on the board itself, so I'm gonna go by that. Yeah, that looks good. Zappy Bits, I like it. I like the Zappy Bits label. That is the best. Okay, I really hope, now that I think about it, I really hope in one of these boxes around here, I have this 4-pin connector. I know I have one around here somewhere because they come with, hey, there we go. No, nope, that's a 6-pin. Never mind. That was a 6-pin. They come with the Leviathan, I think. I would presume so. Do I have a Leviathan box? Can't do a thing with them. It's the same plug as like an EBB36. Well, I mean, sure. But the important part is figuring out where am I going to find that connector, since I apparently haven't sorted one out into my things. So let me see here. Nope, that's an empty Leviathan box. EBB36. Do I have one of those in here? Is that on any of the SB2209s? Got a connector that exists in here. It doesn't appear so. Yeah, we may have to return to this. I know I have those around. It's just a matter of figuring out where I put it. What little box I put it in. What little container. I'm still sorting through all of my stuff, trying to get things organized and I did not anticipate that for some reason. And that's not something I'm just gonna have a bunch of, so I'm just gonna have to find where I put one. LDO needs to do a CPAP blower called the Leviathan. The all-wheel drive took up just 2 millimeters too much. So I'll divert. I'll shift to main board power. I've got a couple of wires already set up. I think, let's see, so this is what I was using before, and I think this will just go right there. So let's get this ran. I think I'm gonna go under and just in. So I have that, and then I need to run power over to this guy, I think. Let's look up the instructions for this again. SKSM, oops, BTT. SKSM add-on, UPS add-on. And I think I actually have this downloaded. Didn't I download this somewhere and open it? Maybe I put it into downloads. I thought we opened this last time. Okay, let's download it again. And, oh, I guess not. Save it as. Come on, catch up. Save. And open. Hey, BLD. Jealous of your hardware bins and organization, yet still not able to find anything that makes me feel better. Yeah. Well, it only works if you actually put the stuff in them. And a lot of my stuff is in bins and easy to find. It's the miscellaneous little things that are a little more difficult right now. I just want to confirm that's just 24 volts in, and that's how we route this. And why am I getting the, okay, let me change to the English one. Oops. Download and save that here. Showing off what? Okay, let's see. Oops, not that much. Let's see. Got dimensions, language skills. Designed for 12 to 24 volt input only. Connecting your printer. So this is 24 volts, yep. And we've got to go into the I/O pins on the Pi, which is down here. These pins are covered by the little LDO board. We'll look to see. These two are not, though. So. A big salad fork. I'm just seeing what else. Okay, so we just need to run 24 volts to this guy, to those pins. So we'll need to grab the, seems like it doesn't need much. Don't really use those either. I guess it's just going to be easier to use this 18 gauge wire as well. Fire advantage is because I went too far. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to run these 24 volt wires. Actually, this might be the shorter route. Just go up through there. I could go here, or, oh, it's basically the same. Okay, I'll go this way then. I'll avoid all of this. But that is a whole lot of wire. I don't need that to use that much wire for that. I guess it doesn't matter. Some of these out of the way. So if this goes here, then it'll go here and exit out here and plug in right there. So I do want to label these because we're going to have a bunch of various black and red wires going around at differing voltages. So let's wire them or label them just with my label maker. Are you ensuring you're using like alloy wires? Silicon. Okay, 24 volts and 24 volts and 5 volts. And let's get that 48 volt labeled. I'm just gonna label the board side of all of these. You're done for the night. Is there anything else? I think that'll do for now. Label these big wires and the pins that go in. I think that'll all be fine. So this is just all this 18 gauge silicone wire I'm using to label them. And someone told me about a margins setting on this, but I think this is a discontinued model. I don't think it supports it to reduce the waste on the labels. I wasn't able to find it in the menu system. Printer, yeah, this heat shrink stuff is definitely on the list of must-have things for your work area. Okay. Let's first see if we can get this 48 volt one labeled. Always print about a dozen labels and cut them apart to reduce waste. Yep, that's what I just did. Jason, thanks for becoming a member. Stagger those so I can actually get them over that. There we go. Yeah, it was a good suggestion to look for that, but I don't think this model supports it. Oh. I don't know if anybody noticed earlier. What is this? Here. And here is distilled water for the black box, but here is a Magneto Xbox. So that'll be fun. Okay. Did I find Tubi? Yes, and it already came in. McMaster is really quick. I ordered it yesterday. It was here today. Yeah, don't throw my back out is right. That's a beast. It's a 105-pound box. I delete my credit card off McMaster. Keep getting clock cycle locked on my Pi. Any ideas? I've never seen that error. I've never seen that error. Your Magneto lives on a furniture dolly. That's sitting on a furniture dolly so I can move it around. We may, I'm gonna try to bribe my son into appearing on camera for unboxing that, just so we can pull it out of the box. It used to be very slow for me, and now they clearly have a West Coast distribution center somewhere. Yes, it is very close, Bill. I don't know exactly if it's in LA or whatever, but it's one day. Okay, that's there. This one, I think I can use. Yeah, it's a little longer than I actually need. What is the ESP32 for? It is for WLED. We're gonna run a WLED setup on here for controlling some NeoPixels for no reason other than checking it out. I've not set up WLED, so we're doing it just so we can. And we will be powering some case lights, light strips, and these side pieces with that WLED board. So the case lights are everything on a stick. I ordered them from Philistruder because that's the only place I saw them. So there's disco on a stick, there's daylight on a stick, and those are daylight on a stick are just white LEDs. Disco on a stick are RGB LEDs, and from what I saw, everything on a stick is, let's back up a little bit, make this a little easier. Everything on a stick is RGBW LEDs. Everything on a stick is pixels everywhere. Yeah, so that's 32 neopixels for the case lights. And then what were those? Was it 12 or something on each of those? So another 24 for the side fan LEDs. Started so I don't accidentally rip it in the wrong spot. It's apricot. Apricot? Apricot? Let's see. Why are those backwards? That bugs me. Okay, I'm gonna cut this on this side then. I just released a super limited time apricot sauce. Yeah, we're giving away a thing of it next on Sunday, right, Garrett? You're saving one for a Sunday giveaway, right? Okay. That's 24 volts there. Just making sure that's good. I'm gonna cut the. So I'm gonna cut these off because I'm going to, because the orientation of the polarity on the power supply is different on this versus the 200 watt. If I put these in upright, they are backwards. So instead of crossing them over, I'm gonna flip those around so they plug in properly. So anybody who doesn't agree can be wrong. And this was slightly long anyway, so it's a good excuse to cut it shorter. So let's do that. The question is, what screwdriver will you use? Well, only the proper one, the one I always use. This is the only one I would use on those. Okay, so that's gonna go, hold this on a little bit. Camera angles are very interesting for this. I think I'm gonna be better off from minimizing the amount you have to see the back of my head. Probably going this way for a bit. Sometimes, not sure if you know this already, the insulation, those spade connectors kind of heat shrink so they don't look all squished. I don't know if these do or not. It's just my crimper. My crimper does that. Would BTT E3V3 be a decent upgrade? The stock 8-bit board in my Prusa Mark III. Are you wanting to move away from the Prusa firmware? Just push print? Hey Tactoad, thanks. There's also a carrot on a stick for ERCF. Yeah, I have some of those from XR Bunker. Yeah. The bubble level on the back says we're leaning a bit. You can use a heat gun on them and they restore after crimping. Oh, really? Since I'm cutting these off anyway. Well, look at that. Look at that. They do. Got those quite hot, but that's interesting. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. Well, now you just gave me something else to do with every build. Sorry. Make this a little more stable. I learned a tip there. I had no idea that did that. Okay, so this is going to go here. It's going to come down along the side. And it's going to get clipped into or zip tied into some anchors along here. And then it's going to go here. So basically, it can be just about as long. I'm just going to cut them off and redo them. And that'll shorten them just enough. And I'm going to completely redo it because it's something I was trying to avoid before. You see that? Unless I feel like I can cut that off, I may be able to. Or I can come under here and just do this with both of them and go under the power supply and just flip in right there. And I think I may do that because it'll clean up the wire over here. So I'm gonna do this, take this through here and just go straight down. So this silicone, this black and red silicone wire I found on Amazon, and they are bonded together. I think they're molded together. If they catch when you're splitting them, it'll pull like you see. Okay, so now I've got this, and then I'll just plug those in there and they'll just go right directly under and behind this power supply. And I'll do that for both of them. That'll save me some wire, what I'm using here. Actually, I already cut it, but I'll do the same thing. I had already cut that, oh well. But this split and then expose the wire on that. And it is the ground side, but I still don't want to deal with that. So I'm gonna cut this, I think, about here. Pull this up again so I have more room to work on it. I'm gonna cut it this time instead of just pulling it apart. And maybe this angle will get a little better. Make sure those wires are flat and not twisted under the power supply. Yeah, they will be, yeah, it's going to be a nice flat run straight under. This is going to go right in here and then in the other, and then this is going to go right like, yep, just like that. So I'm going to crimp these, holding them like this. You don't want the wires get exposed from separating the conductors. Yeah. When it's ground, it shouldn't come in contact with the protective earth crown. That's good and strong. If you have that on hand, it's probably just fine. There, just push print. As long as it has the I/O you need. You people. Yeah. Should always be kept separate except in star ground. One day we'll have printers that can print low resistivity conductors, and we'll just 3D print custom back planes and get rid of all this wiring. That'd be interesting. Okay, so this go right. So all of this can get plugged in. So I guess I should have just taken that out. There. It's going to go right like that. It's going to flip right up in there. So that means this one, oh, I didn't cut that. Okay. It was just laying there. So this one is going to do the same thing, basically this same distance right there up into here, just like that. Here. And up into a little bit of extra right there. This is 24 volts. And which side was which on this? This is upside down. This is, so this side is 24 volts. Red Sharpie time. Hold on, hold on, hold on. What's this I'm seeing? In 5 hours, you will be ancient. Well, that means that Bill is like ancient squared, but happy birthday, Pex Peppers, tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow. Okay, sorry. Yeah, that is the 24 volt side. That way I don't get that confused again. Hey, Skyrim. Okay. So this is going to go up, flip around this way. And the reason that mattered is just putting the 24 volt label on. So when it's on there, I'll be able to, it'll be readable. Hey, Mamu. Tuxedo, I read that. When I first read that, I read multiplayer PCBs. Almost 11, Rod. Almost 11. Okay, and then this side, this goes like, which way? There we go. Just push print, use the code Steve Builds if you want to try something out. There you go. Too late, we're actually having tacos tonight too. Oh, I think for the occasion of Garrett's birthday tomorrow, I'll wear the taco hat while we do a giveaway. Does that sound reasonable? Only if Garrett wants me to. Admiral Dama. I have not done a build series for the Roaring Legacy. I have covered it on a couple of streams, doing things to mine, but my Legacy was a development build, which means it wasn't done on camera. Oh, also a DM. How did I miss so many? Everyone, Taco Hat, Tuesday, Taco Hat. Steve, hello chat. Hey, the Donica? Please tell me what to do with the ground on the third block with 48 volts of power. I came across the fact Wago 221 only has 5 contacts. Should I add another one? On what? So it's a generally good idea to connect your grounds. Now, since both these are going into the same board, these grounds are connected. So we do get a connected ground just via connecting to the same board there. But okay. And let's heat it up, because that's what we do now. Oh, let me catch up here. This is next to what we... Am I missing something? Okay, I need to check DMs. What do we got here? Oh, this is the, here. Nope, not message link. We want copy link. So we've been talking about apricot hot sauce. This is the apricot hot sauce. Jumper the two 5P Wagos together so you have an 8P connector. Yep. Okay. those are done. This needs done. Get that cut apart. Only 42 left. Here, it's been down for a few months. Man, I forgot how well it prints. There we go. And I need the red one, the black one. Then I should make a common wire between the two power supplies that show them between the RS-25 5 or 48 and 5. So on your DC power supplies, it is a good idea to tie the grounds together. How that happens may vary depending on what your configuration looks like. But if you have multiple power supplies in the system of electronics that connect together, then it's a good idea to have a shared ground. Ooh, I feel like I'm missing. No, I'm just not catching email or messages. And these crimpers. What do we got? 47 minutes till Polymaker filament giveaway. Links in the pin post and the description. And 28 and only 68 likes. We need to up our like game. A shared ground, not a shared neutral comment. Correct. Correct. You just want to. Oh, and we're talking DC side. On the AC side, you want the ground, but we're really talking the DC side here. Okay, that's there, that's there. This is gonna go up, probably this one. Let's go ahead and plug this in so at least things are. I should make a common minus between the three power supplies. Now hold on, you're talking ground and minus. Both of them, you're going to end up wanting them to be that, but wanted to make sure that we're using we're talking about the same thing. So if you're talking protective earth, any power supply in there, if you're grounding the frame, you're grounding the power supplies, you're grounding all that, hopefully they're all those grounds are the protective earth are linked. On the DC side, on the low voltage side, you want grounds to be connected as well between power supplies. Did you ever get nudged working on your Trident? Yes, but I ran into other problems with the general setup on that have prevented me from going much further on there. We are. There. Okay. Vitali, thanks for the gifted memberships. spares, yeah, to do. Come on now. Okay. I think everything is in the right spots to put the power supply in place. I have there's this. The rear Z stepper is running it through one of these little deck supports, zip tied there. All the stuff coming from the A stepper and the umbilical are running through this one. I think I want to put another one of these up in the middle here and tie those one more time before they go to the, just like that, before they go to wherever they're going. So let's take that, put a mount through those. I also, off camera, I moved the frame ground over to this side so it'd be closer to the distribution block here. Okay, zip ties. A bunch of the zip ties I'm looking for somewhere. Let's just use these. Oh, there they are. Seeing this end of a printer always makes me feel like I'm weird. Okay, so all of these are coming through here. These are stepper wires. They are labeled on the end, so should be okay as long as I keep track of them later. Those ground terminal blocks are electrically connected to the DIN rails to begin with. Correct, these are. But the DIN rails are not connected to the frame. So running the ground wire to the frame makes sure that the frame is grounded on here. So that and the umbilical wire here can get zip tied to this. Kind of off topic, what did you use to seal your MDF workbench tops? This is just oil-based polyurethane. And it's just foam brushed on, sanded in between coats and several coats, especially on this MDF. Lots of coats. Hey, Brent. Thank you for that clarification there, Bill. Okay, so that, I'm just gonna tuck that out of the way, those out of the way. This is just so I can put the power supply in place. So, here, here. There. those will just kind of get back there. And let's see if we can get this all plugged in here before I put it into place. I think it'll be a little easier. And ground for protective earth. Okay, so then flip this in here. Make sure we, okay. This is a tight fit for this wire that came with the go. There and in. There we go. Able to make it to Rocky Mountain and Murph this year, and meeting folks in the printing community has been great. Yep. Do you find it helpful when dealing with mixed systems, ones with AC and DC to not mix terms and ground is only protective earth and BC is negative? Yeah, I have such a hard time with that bearded bucket. Okay, so input power from the distribution block is on. DC power is ran. We've got main or Leviathan power and the little Pi, basically Pi UPS. Over a little bit, those are ran. Now we need, so that's that power. I need to find a 4-pin Molex microfit for that, which means I'll probably have to do that between streams, but you know what I'm doing there, and it's just a short little jaunt over there. So then 5 volts going to the, and I can just use that. I can use one of these. Do I have anything that I cut off? Use that. That's what I was going to use for this. So I'll leave that. 5 volts just going right across here. We'll just run it through the cable chain as well. So here, this is pretty clearly marked, but I'm still going to mark the 5 volts on the input of this. What is this one? Yeah, so that's an adjustment, and then that side. So let's go. Actually, I'll do it on this side. Just marked the top of this with red for the 5 volt side. Cross paths any at Murph. So far, this is my event. I wasn't really fully aware. Da, da, da. Yep. Okay, that goes there and there. That's probably enough right there. Let's go that much. And then throw a 5 volt label on this so I don't forget. Let's crimp. This is at least ferrules on both ends, so it's a nice, easy. It's easy crimp. I'm curious, what opinions on this? This is connected to the Pi with USB, but there's no other things that are sharing connection here. I don't think the need for connecting the DC ground side of those is there, right? There's no other There's no other shared stuff on that. There's not really an easy way to do that. Does not connect to the Pi with USB, only Wi-Fi and Moonraker. Oh, I thought you can't connect this? I have to set up its own. I kind of assumed that I would be plugging that in with USB and communicating with it that way. That's good to know. Like I said, I'm new to the WLED thing, so never mind. It's a completely separate little system in here then. I have zero experience with Cartographer at all, Dext. Okay, so that's gonna go there. I'm just gonna specify that side as the okay, 5 volts. Oh, Wi-Fi. Okay, well that's good. Thanks for letting me know that. Have the patience to wear like you have several projects that are just waiting on the wires to be ran. I don't know what I think just taking time and understanding that not every crimp, not everything you do is all done at once. You kind of like you don't shove this bootlace ferrule on the end. You kind of feel on if it's catching on any stray wires. Just little things like that. You will plug the WLED into the PC to flash it, and then that's it with the USB. Can you flash it from the Pi if you wanted to? So it could be updated or flashed from the Pi? Okay. What's the model on that 48 volt PSU? Is that enough for 4-wheel drive? I would not expect it to be enough for 4-wheel drive, but I'm not sure. It's a 90 watt. It's a IRM 90-48 ST. WLED has only updated once since I've been using it. Okay. And all kinds of money on tools to make wiring easy. Of all the connectors, I just lack the gumption. What those style? Do you get ahead of myself? I have the Nighthawk USB board. Makes me wonder if I have the knowledge to actually do it. Sure. I'm sure you'd do fine. Oh, I keep breaking off pieces of this wire channel stuff. Okay, so that's gonna go. Oh, I twisted that somehow. Okay, oops. I have to get a new set of tools, crimps, pliers, cutters when I start on the electronics. Okay. Now let's do that again. What does this do? That'll work. Okay. Clear vision for things up close and taking your time. You looking for 4-pin Molex connectors? I know I have some, but it's the 2x2. It's the 2x2 for the can connection on the Leviathan here. It's a 4-pin, but it's 2x2 Microfit 3 connector. And I know I have them around. I just don't know where at this point. Okay. I wanted all my power to kind of be ran through these first. So let's get this out from behind some of these. There we go. Now all the power is in the channel first. And then this is stepper 0, which is the front left here. And it is it? Yeah, it's this guy right here. So we're gonna go on here. We're gonna just start getting these wired in. So this is gonna go around the back side of this breakout board and then enter here. And I'm just gonna go into the first connector. So I'm gonna cut that right about there. So I'm gonna pull all this out so I have plenty of room here. Does this level of rebuild constitute a need for a serial reissue? Oh, absolutely not. Serial goes to the, I mean, if this serialed originally, well, this isn't serialed to begin with. Shh, don't tell Sanity. Sorry, give me a moment. JST, yeah. But it's still a Trident. You could completely redo everything. You could basically redo everything on this and it would still be a Trident. It would still have the same serial number. Okay, this is blue, red, green, black. Red, green, black. Done with the 250 2.4 and I fried my toolhead board. Oops. killed the 24 and 5 volts to the fan daughter board. Soldering something my brain just doesn't like to wrap itself around. Or had somebody to show me how to do it. Just watched a couple of videos and somehow managed to make it work. Soldering is a lot about cleanliness, managing oxidation. Big factor in that is flux. Okay, I'm gonna pull this off because I've already marked it with a Sharpie for a 0. So we'll just pull these out. The fumes from it are not. Zero represents the completion of a valid build, and then it follows the whole wooden ship has all its boards replaced. It's the same ship. Yes, that is precisely correct. Okay. Just make sure, sanity check myself. Blue, red, green, black. Yep. So I went back and looked. I mean, one of the reasons I had that picture of the before is because I was going back to confirm which ports I had used for the Z steppers. So I wanted to confirm that I used these, the first ports here. So 0, 1, 2 for this, and then AB for A and B. So that's that one. This would be, so that's A. So this is 1. So this is going to come through there and then just come here and do the same thing and into there. So cut it right about there. So this is the middle rear stepper, and I left myself enough room. If I did an ender wire conversion, got it serialized as a switch wire, and then put it back to an ender config. Oh, well, in its ender config, it had a switch wire serial number. So I mean, you can do what you want with the printer from that point. You built a valid Voron-based recognized build. I wouldn't call the ender a switch wire or an ender wire, but at that point, it is what it is. I mean, you still have that ender wire or switch wire serial number. It's not going to go away if you ever rebuilt it to a switch wire or an ender wire. That's the serial number it would have. The serial number system is not that serious. It's a very for fun system. I think some degree of keeping it as consistent as we can makes sense, but it's not worth losing any sleep over. Any soldering iron recommendations or just one that works? My soldering iron is 20 years old. I have a WS51 that I use for most soldering. Will we make warranty claims? That is a great question. That's probably the question of the night. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's go 5, 6. Where did you go? 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 4 more. Get all of these done. I think that the pine sol is the best bang for the buck. Well, yeah, they're what, $30 right now? $30 for a pine sol is hard to beat. Someone was asking last stream, I don't know if I ever did it. Got a closer up view of crimping technique. Some folks like to put the terminal in the, lightly squeeze it in the jaws of the crimper first. I usually grab it, tip of my thumb and the back of my finger, and then I come in from the back with the spot I want to crimp in. Knowing that you don't need to make the crimp all at once, that it's worth it to lightly squeeze to make sure it's going in centered on the die, especially with this larger size. You can come in here and squeeze those together a little bit. Is it hard to not work on these builds between streams? It can be. It used to be harder than it is now. But now, I mean, especially lately, I've got so many other things I'm working on as far as just house projects and workspace projects. Blue, red, green, black. That it's not too hard to avoid working on one in between. Here, go through there, and plug in. Build a Hacko clone soldering station. It's a nice, fast setup. It is so handy to have an iron that will heat up fast. One of those irons that is just an iron on the end of a cord that you plug in, takes forever to heat up. It's night and day to use something decent. That pine sol will heat up fast. But like what Tuxedo said is, if you're soldering large things, then you may want a larger iron, something that can handle a larger tip anyway. Hey, Tanner. Okay, and then that's A. So what is this one? So this one, in order to keep the wire length about closer to the others, is going to wrap up and bring it around this way. What is this? Oh, that's B, right? Yep. out there. Not a whole lot cutting off of this one. So big wire, large mass of copper will rub heat away from it very fast and make it difficult to maintain the heat you need for a good solder joint. Yep. So on my, so say for instance, here's my Weller with, and this is a medium sized tip on it, but I have, it'll handle heating up. Where's the big guy? No, that's not it. Huh. I don't know where the big tip is that I have for it. That's weird. I have a tip that's about double this size for larger stuff. PF Dennis, thanks for the gifted memberships. There we go. Blue, red, green, black. That's for the big stuff, not appropriate for 91% of what I solder now. Can handle it 700, yeah. The Weller, this is a nice iron. I've had it forever. It is the second handle I've had for it. I had one handle go bad. Fortunately, it went bad at a time when Fry's was still around here, and Fry's actually carried the replacement in stock. My finger is brushing away the bit of insulation that usually gets caught to the back of the stripper there. We got 11 minutes until Polymaker giveaway. How are we doing on the likes front? I do miss Fry's. Now I want a micro station. Micro Center, micro station. That's a CAD package. Doing wire management for the extra electronics you did last stream? Yes. We're basically just kind of, last stream was really about figuring out the electronics layout. We came up with a great plan, and now we're executing on that plan. So, and hopefully get pretty far into that, where I will probably, whatever we don't get done today, there's only so much. If it's something special, I'll save it for next stream, but I'll pretty much get the wiring sorted for next stream. Only downside in getting a quality soldering station that you quickly get spoiled and you don't want to use cheap iron anyway. Yes. So true. Okay. It's going to go in the next one here. Flip around. All of those should have it. There. All in there, that's in there. Clean. This will not be able to go that far that I was planning on it, because this actually comes over here. So I don't have enough room to take it all the way around. So now this can come off of here and just hang there for a second. I had started to manage some of these with zip ties. Pulled this one in here a little prematurely, so let's pop that zip tie. And this is gonna go there. Just set that there. Put that back there. So bed thermistor going up through there. So this is the B stepper. It's going to come up here, here, and then I think high volt stepper 1, high volt stepper 0. So 0 is where we're going to take this one. Do something like that. Yeah, cut that right there. The pine sill works really well with the CNC Kitchen heat set insert tip setup. CNC Kitchen makes a nice insert setup for it. So yes, the pine sill works great for heat sets. That's what this is. This is a pine sill. So just an FYI, this is a pine sill in a mount with the CNC Kitchen tip. And the pine sill works great with a USB PD, a 65 watt supply, and a cable that's capable of carrying that. So I use this Anchor gallium nitride, whatever, really compact power supply for it, and it works great. It's 65 watts. This is 3.25 amps out at 20 volts. Okay. Red, green, black. We got 5 minutes. Didn't actually catch. How many likes are we at? Are we at a reasonable number? Or do I have to delay the giveaway till next week? $104, that's good. We have, what, 150 people here? I actually don't have that window open, so I can't tell. Sorry about that, because they don't have reverse polarity protection. Yeah. Has anybody actually, hey Ethan, by the way, has anybody actually changed the firmware on a pine sill or a TS100 to do something? Is there any alternate setups out there that are worth checking out? Evo, Steve. In general, it seems, at least the feedback I'm seeing and stuff, is summer, people are busy in the summer, and attendees and viewership is down. There's a RISC processor, but I haven't messed with the firmware on it. Oh, tried to upgrade the firmware, but it didn't work. Two of them. Yeah, I don't blame them. It is nice. Well, it's been hot here lately, but there we go. Okay, blue, red, green, black. We only have one more stepper to rewire and on to new and interesting things. Okay, So this is going to go through here. Stick that through right there and right like that. Hey, Kenneth. 3 more minutes. And outside drinking beer on the patio watching the stream. Nice. One of the kids on our robotics team did and swore by the new firmware. Okay. What was different about it though? Yeah, I guess this one will just, both of these will just come up through just the normal path, I think. Go through there and plug in right like that, I think. What the heck, I just noticed I was unsubscribed. Well, thank you for fixing that. Got my worker printer work the thread inserts out of the X carriage. Ooh, that's not good. I installed a modded firmware so I could use it in my left hand. Oh, that's a good use case for changing it. Thank you for fixing that, Drew. I wonder if there's any like temperature profiles or like, I could see maybe being able to change the menu layout might be useful, or even simplify it. If you always only use a couple of functions, it'd be a lot easier to go through and simplify things. Or are there temperature presets you could set up? That kind of thing. Different menus allowed her to put in presets for different set temps. Well, there you go. Met a guy at some manufacturer that dies a machine that formed the best pins. Showed me a step to make the pin. My reason, left-handed, no problem. That isn't the first time on other channels happened to me. Still get notices. Last one. We will get this crimped. It is giveaway time. I'm going to finish crimping this real quick. Pin post description. That's where the links are. Make sure you get in there. You only have 3 seconds once I start counting to get your name in. Unless there's a new entry, then we start the 3 seconds over. Until I get tired of that. I almost screwed that up. How am I gonna fix that? Take this. It just bent over slightly out. There we go. All better. William Martin. Left-handed firmware. Almost done. No, I'm delaying. No, people want to go to bed in some parts of the world. We had a new Polar Ted Club member on Sunday. Did we have 2 of them? Was it 1 or 2? We had 2. That's right. Got that quick that time. Blue, red, green, black. Patents on left-handed shop rags. There we go. Okay, let me switch windows and we will get this done. There, and come on, load up. Let's delete the evidence from last week. We see that Cliff D won, but WT Cook and Josh both missed out. Okay, 2 in the same stream. That was not the first. We've had more than that before, but what are the gray and black PSU? 5 volts and 48 volts. So, Polymaker filament giveaway. Link is in the pin post in the description. I'm gonna close the entries when I haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. I now have the window open so I can pay attention. So let's count down. 3. Just realized I can get my Pine-Sol to show Hack the Planet. I'm working the firmware update. 2. I didn't get one in that whole little sidetrack. 1. On the other hand, there we go. 3. Oh, there's a new one. 3, 2. People wait until I get serious, right? And then you get them in here. 3, 2, 1. Hey, Sissy Kid. Hey, Glorp. And half. Oh, there's one. 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1. Done. Okay, let's create this. I'm getting pretty predictable on that, I'm sure. GJ, you were first. Should have waited a touch longer. And who got in last? Scott's not here, but William Martin got the last one in there. Where were you, Kevin? You were like 6th from last. Okay, pay season. Oh, I'm in the results. DJ and William Martin. Yep, the right list. You're napping. You missed. I should stop reading out his password on the stream. Hey, Jared, welcome. Did you get in? Did you get entered? Okay. What, let's do a number. What is significant? What is significant? I don't know. Let's do a number between 1 and 21. One and 21. Glorp, the golden Chinchampa, said 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Spin. 4 a.m. Well, you got in there. Who do we have? Questionable choices. Congratulations, questionable choices. You made a good choice to enter the giveaway. Now, why aren't those coming up? No active timers. There we go. Okay, questionable choices. Congratulations. Are you here? You have 2 minutes from now to respond. You are here. Congrats. No new Polar Ted Club member this giveaway. Questionable choices. Awesome. Congrats. You will hear from me sometime before the next stream. I owe Sunday's winner and today's. Otherwise, I'm caught up. So, and folks, Garrett and Pathetic Puma, don't let me forget to get set up for the giveaways next streams. So, I picked a number way too high. Congrats. If you're in the US or Canada, you'll get a coupon to the US or Canada Polymaker store. If, oh shoot, I did. I'll make up for it. Is Garrett even here? Is Garrett even here? Ugh. There. Nobody reminded me. So, Garrett can watch the replay if he's not here. Happy birthday tomorrow to Garrett. If I don't forget, I'll remind you Sunday or Tuesday. Remind me Sunday. We'll do yours on Tuesday. We'll do Garrett's on Sunday. It's Taco Tuesday. We go here or we do the, which is preferred? I can see better this way. Your birthday was yesterday? Happy birthday, Frank. Did what I could to hold on until the end of stream. See, I redacted. Yes, you can lie down. Pirate Taco. This is a lot better. I can see better. Yeah. I can see better. He was a few minutes ago. We'll catch the replay. If he reminded me to do the taco hat, then at least he can catch it on the replay. Yeah, happy birthday, Frank. Let's see. Let's see, where are we at? We have all the steppers wired. We have power going to almost everything. I don't like this. I'm probably gonna replace this between streams. This is just a little too, once I added that extra segment here, it's a little too tight. So I'm gonna replace that. Back in about 10 to 15. We should be here for a little bit. We'll be here for a little bit longer than that. Thanks, Redacted. So what is next? We can run, there's not a whole lot more that actually gets ran for the, because of the toolhead board. Yosemite Sam in that hat. Just use the wire stretcher. I may be able to cut the shrink wrap off here and see how it stretches, but I don't think it's going to do enough. Oh, well, no, because I was thinking I could maybe move it to the bottom, but I don't think that's going to help me either. Need some of the 3 or 4 signal tall DIN connectors. I wanted to match because I found the exact matches that LDO uses on Amazon. So that's what I did, is I just bought a pack of those and just snuck an extra one in there. So I'm going to play around with that between streams. I'm not going to do that right now. But what we can do is get the AC side, the high voltage side of these wired in. Those Dinko connectors are not too good. Yeah, I agree. I'm sure there are, I don't have a lot of experience with the different DIN options, but I can't imagine that these are in the upper echelon of what's available. Okay, we need a live wire and a we'll go a little different on the live wire. Like that. Oops. Find ones that match. Oh, I might be able to reuse that. That one's got a crimp already on it. Okay. Feeling for same gauge, and I don't need heavy gauge for these little power supplies. Can you do a rundown of these components in the electronics bay? It looks so different to my stock Voron. Yeah. Wago dins are amazing. Top jobs. Contacts also was invented after a tanker carrying mayonnaise sunk in a storm on its way to Mexico, and they needed a local alternative. Is that true? Okay, real quick. WLED ESP32 board. This is the Big Tree Tech SKSM little Pi shutdown module. This is Leviathan with the Pi. This is a 5-volt Meanwell power supply. This is a 48-volt Meanwell power supply. This is the SSR, and this is the 150-watt power supply, 24 volts. I didn't read the whole thing that you put there, John, and it's end of stream. So for that, the toggle hat's going away. I didn't read to the very end. If I would have saw that last word, if I would have spent the time to see that last word. Okay. Is this going to fit? Yes, that either one of those would fit. What are you doing with the WLED? Controlling neopixels? All of that for such a punny punchline. I know. CR Chapman. Having tacos with Pex peppers to the moon sauce. Nice. Trying to figure out what routing. I have 2 available down here, and I'm going to be moving these around. And if I move all these to the bottom, I have room, so I could just wire these straight to the top. I can just loop around here and do this, and then that'll probably solve my issue. I can move all these down here. I'd have to move a ground to the top because those have to stay, but this ground would have to go to the top. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's wire these as if they're going to go to the top. And what do we have here? Neutral and live. There we go. So let's just wire this one right here. Hey, Ruth. Don't forget to remove the pin polymaker giveaway. Thank you. Did forget. Unpin. Edit and delete it from the description. Save. There we go. Heading to bed. See you, Brent. So that is live. Neutral. I'm going to probably tuck that into there. So let's pull this off. Let's flip this around. There, coming out here, but then I'm going to go to the top, which means I'm not going to be cutting this much at all. That's going to go over there. This one's going to go right here. So let's I'm just going to go up the middle here since nothing else is here. So exactly just like that. Seems wrong. Okay. This is going to come out of here. There we go. That was the tight one right there. So let's pull all of these. And this. Back. That was not very long. Welcome back. Okay, so those are going to be much more relaxed, laying down here and then going here, here, and something like that. So that means I'm going to take this one. I guess I'm just going to do all of these. This one here, instead of going along with all those, it'll go to the top and hopefully what are the colored terminal blocks called? What are these things called? Let me make myself some more room with this. There we go. I think that might do it. Just DIN power blocks. UK DIN blocks or something. Okay, now that is going to come up. Give myself a little more room. Come around, go into the ground port right here. All sorts by searching for DIN terminal blocks. Hey, Clownhammer. Any advantage versus Wago terminal clips? To some degree, yes. One of the nice things about this is like this grounding block electrically grounds to the DIN rail that you're clamping it to. So yeah. Now I can pull this bottom here. It's gonna go tuck over that way. That's gonna plug into the ground there. And then there it is. Come on, where are you at? There we go. Okay, now we've got all the relaxed wire there. Back around. Do you ground to the chassis of the printer too? Yep. Right in here, it's hard to see, but there's a screw right there that has a ground wire that's coming back to right here. That's good. Sure I'm not. And make sure I wasn't pinching any wires with the SSR. Good night, Frank. Good night, Pathetic Puma. So that's that. This guy is going to come through here, come up. Let's go ahead and crimp one onto here. Hi Len, welcome. Mains power electrical goods in the UK, all touchable metal has to be grounded. Oh, I thought I saw someone say goodnight Frank. Oh, Bill. Bill said goodnight Frank. Is it a mistag? Then I saw you had a dropped a line, I see. Then I saw a redacted message. I do see those. And I just figured that you were bouncing. Maybe we go like there. I think we'll have to go into this one. We'll go into this one, and this all goes in there. And that goes to about computers having keyboards instead of punch cards. I'm building my Mercury 1.1 using your videos. Awesome. I'm glad they're helping. Okay, so is that one? Probably put a little zip tie there or something to kind of help hold all these together. But that's the 48 volt power supply wired. Now we're gonna do, this is probably not, need a different wire for the black wire. There we are. Any idea which front panel first use? Examine and deposit. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Front panel, Lewis? Front panel? Oh, are you guys talking about retro? Like older than dirt computer stuff? I'm sorry, older than Bill computer stuff. Okay, these guys. The way that these, oh, sorry, these power supplies come off is there is a tab here. You can get a screwdriver in and pop it open. You see how it goes there. Then when you put it on, you just push that in and it locks into place. So what I was gonna do here is just take this off while I tighten these down. You not going in. Got it? As far in as it goes. Yep. Are those PSUs grounded through the DIN rail? No. They don't need to be. They don't have a ground at all. I don't know. I couldn't quote the reason or the requirement, but they don't require. They're picking on me. Sorry. Twist this a little bit. Sorry, my bad. I could just give you permission to abuse. Twist isn't working all that great. Okay. Up and over here. So we're going to go, all of these are going to go right along about the same way. So there. Right about there. I don't think you incited, he's self-inciting. A mohawk in reverse. So what's left is really just hooking up the various devices and the side panel LEDs. Hooking up the fans, something. See you, Dr. Dave. It loves me to watch Steve Builds, but warns me never grow a beard like that. This tomorrow, it is going to be a little more under control after tomorrow. I got an appointment. The guy who has been cutting my hair tomorrow, so it is a bit beyond what I like right now too. Okay, so that's like that. We get a couple of zip ties in here to kind of give this a little bit of control. Keep things out of the way. Well, the beard is fun. It does get to be a little unruly, so I think I'm gonna get a couple inches chopped off the length, mostly to work on making it a little more full towards the end instead of kind of fading out. So I'll probably cut it right about there. Should make it a little more dense. Just go back and look at streams from 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. Hey, 1 liter Peter. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. That turned out pretty good. I think I can throw this on here because I'm pretty sure there we go. I'm pretty sure we're done with that part. And if we're not, I can pop it off again. But that is all of the power supplies wired up and going to their destinations. Everything. Hey, nobody won Kenobi. No small beard at the Trident release. I had this long beard at the Switchwire release. And yes, I had a short beard at the Trident release. This is the second time I've grown it about this long in my life, and it's all within the last 5 years. My dad always had a really long beard, but I never grew it when he was around. I always had it really short. Like the shortest you've seen it is the typical how I had it for years and years. So, okay, that is good. I'm pleased. Just kind of evening up the spacing here. There we go. That goes in there. You have to watch out for bags and bridges. Steppers are all wired. Need to get the display wired or connected, but that's not important right now. What else do we have around here? Let me see. Let's see if we can plug. So this is a USB that was plugging in the breakout board. So that goes there. This comes down into here. That last tooth under the SSR that's poking out is killing me. I won that last tooth under the SSR. Oh, I didn't see that. There we go. All better. Won't be able to sleep unless it's fixed. No, that's good call. Good call. That was not acceptable. Now you can sleep. Pointy hat. Now you can sleep. Okay, that's clean. That's clean with the cable they provide. Works. See you, Dr. Dave. Is that a Leviathan controller? It is. It is. It's a Leviathan that we're going to have to play around with figuring out how we're going to integrate this. This is the SKSM little Pi saver Pi shutdown module, but it wants to use a couple of pins over here. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do to make that happen. Because this has to power the Pi in order to properly shut it down. It has to both power the Pi and send a command to shut down, or initiate a command for shutdown. We'll go through the setup. I haven't read through the whole instructions for that, but that's in there. Where did I had a wire around here for the fans. Where did I put that? Oh, there it is. Oh, well, that was fun. I pulled on this and it just pulled out of the connector. Oh, I know what happened here. See how that's twisted? It means that this was pinned wrong at some point and had to be twisted around in order to plug in correctly. So we're gonna re-crimp those, since that's at least the second time that's been depinned. So we're gonna redo that. And then I have this little splitter because it goes to the fan module here. Ooh. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to make a quick little, or find, because I think it exists, a little mount for this to VHB to the back of this. And then the fans will plug in right here, and then this will just go off to the thing. I just VHB that right there in the middle there. You've gone off the deep end. Hey, Phil Morris. We've devolved into puns. Remove the 2020 locator nubs on that mount. 2020 locator nubs on what mount? On that mount? What are we talking about? What are those relays and PCBs? Relays and PCBs. These are power supplies. So this is a 5-volt power supply. This is a 48-volt power supply. So we're in future streams here, we'll play some sort of game. Do something you like every time someone asks for a rundown of the controllers and items in the area. And this is not a down on, don't worry, I don't mind the question, but it's just funny because we've been asked like 4 times in this stream what all the things are. Hey, Brendan. On the 3D printed mount. Oh yeah, I'll probably just model one up real quick and use VHB to stick it. Looks more like a relay. We started with puns right at the beginning of the stream. They're just evolving though. Yeah, this is WLED ESP32 board. This is a SKSM Big Tree Tech Pi shutdown module, Leviathan, 5-volt power supply, 48-volt power supply, SSR, DIN block, and 150-watt 24-volt power supply. Is it one of these little ceramic relays there, Phil? I don't know what to look for to get that. Did not get your email yet. Sometime between now and Sunday, questionable choices. Sometime between now and Sunday, you'll get it. Oh, I was gonna look up what that pinout on this fan module. Let's fix the fan module and then call it a night. An extra roll of Polymaker filament given away at the end of stream for every time someone asks what HPCB is. Okay, pins. I think there was a... That's not what I want. LDO motion. Oh. So what print speeds do you expect with the 48 volt 5160s? I don't know yet. I don't know on this because there's a lot of things we're doing on this printer. Is it power recovery or something? Yeah, SKSM. The Big Tree Tech SKSM module, if you want to look that up. Guides. Biathan. There's got to be a quick pinout diagram. Here we go. This will work. So fans. So we have those two. Okay. This is what I wanted, just to figure out the polar or the pin out for the fan. Wedge a 12 volt in here for something. If all of this was tight against each other, I think I could fit something about this size in there. Garrett, did you miss the taco hat? Garrett's here. Garrett's here, and tomorrow's Garrett's birthday. So there. Okay. Which is the better way to wear this, Garrett? This way or the other way? Okay, how does this go in? These go like yay. That means that I'll have something absurd for you at Mark 25. Does this make it better? Okay. What did Phil say? Sort out, oh, the distribution. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out where I put things. Pin terminals, where did I put those? Put them back down here? Yeah. And I was always ground on the left side facing up. That is not 100% on these fan connectors. You're probably correct. But describing the actual orientation there can be a little fun. But there isn't actually, most of them get wired the same way, but I don't think there's actually a standard for them. You will see almost all of them being consistent, but you will see some that are off. Ask me how I know. I blew up 2 fans on the Blue V0 rebuild because of that. Me too on a V0, yeah. Okay, so that is those two. So I don't remember which fan output I had plugged into on this. Go here or this was the Bowden PCB that I did it on Wall Street Bets. The Bowden setup from Hart K. When did all sailors from the days of wooden sailing ships become pirates? And Admiral Nelson had to, and he was no pirate. Okay. With that, I think we are in a good spot. I'm gonna do a couple of things off camera to kind of speed up this, because we're gonna have streams of just configuring things that we put in here. All of this is just getting stuff ready to turn things on. Next week, we are going to be installing things like the 3DO enclosure camera and the LEDs for the enclosure, and we'll be able to power it on and start getting things configured. So, no rockers for the Trident. Rockers. What do you mean rockers? Is this end of stream brain not understanding what rockers? So, Sunday we're back on the black box, and we will be powering that on Sunday. Yeah, we will be powering that on Sunday and starting to get into pre-flight checks and setup and configuration. When that build is done, we're gonna do an unboxing, although I'm gonna do a partial unboxing just to make sure everything made it in shipping okay. But we're gonna do a setup of the Magneto X for a single stream. Just have fun, set that up and get it printing. And then on next Tuesday, we'll be back on this. So with that, thank you everyone. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the gifted memberships, new members. Did you sort out your resin print? I've done a couple of prints, but I haven't really spent a lot of time on it. So no. Hope you have a good rest of your week. See you Sunday. Take care of everyone and enjoy the build. Bye.